There, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another day of 31 days of cut files. Today is day 13, so we are doing the 13th cut file, which happens to be this scrolly piece with a feather quill. And I am using one of the pre-printed, I want to say it's a page kit. I think it was like a kit to do 2 different pages using the Simple Vintage Coastal collection, which is what we used on our cruise. And so that is what I am using here today. I've got several photos doing a double page layout. That wood grain is already printed on the paper. The turquoise is already printed around the paper. So the paper's doing a ton of the work for me. I don't have to do a whole lot, but I am going to modify my cut file with some walnut stain distress ink, and I'm just applying that using one of my blending brushes. I want to get it a good coverage on it so that it is not like, I guess, bold. I don't want it in your face bold, but I want it so that it pops off the page. Hopefully that makes sense. I am not going to actually ink up the feather at this time. I'm going to wait on that until I figure out exactly what I want to do there. I don't know if I'm going to back it with the same paper or what I'm going to back it with. So I'm going to wait on that, but I am going to back the paper with these 4x6 Project Life cards that have been in my stash for ages. And I keep them because they make a great journaling spot. You can cut them down to whatever size you want. In this case, I am using them to back a cut file, but it's really, they're just useful because they've got grids on them. Some of them have lines. Some of them have a different kind of smaller grid pattern. And so rather than, get rid of them and have to go find some kind of journaling spot somewhere else, I figured I would just use them. I don't even know that they're made anymore, but they are pretty useful when I remember to pull them out. Okay, so I'm going to back that cut file there. That's going to be a journaling spot because I've got a little bit of a story to tell about this. These are cruise photos, and we went down for some not superhero, Marvel trivia. I believe it was Marvel trivia, which MK and Sandy were really into. Now, I like Marvel. I like all of that kind of stuff, but I don't pay that much attention, and honestly, I couldn't tell you which movies were Marvel versus DC Comics or whatever. Actually, I probably could tell you some of them, but not all of them. And I definitely don't pay attention to all of the trivia, and I don't remember movies. In fact, I've been known to watch the same movie a second time and go, I kind of remember this movie. But yeah, in one ear and out the other, I guess. So it is Marvel trivia, and in case you're wondering about that photo of Sandy with her hands up, I think one of the questions was, which eye does Nick Fury wear his patch on, right or left? And she's trying to figure that out. That's what the hand signals there are. So it was kind of fun watching her and MK literally blow through all of the questions and know, I want to say probably 98% of the answers. Yeah, and I just sat there and took pictures and drank my mocktail, which is, not really a cocktail, but it's nice and fruity and it tastes nice and sweet. So, yeah, let's go for it. So, I decided I was going to back my little feather here with this orangey pinky kind of paper, going for more of the orange to match the color of the cocktails there. And I believe those are Mai Tais. I'm pretty sure that's what we were drinking there. There is another drink that is very similar in color, but I'm pretty sure that was a Mai Tai. A Mai Tai mocktail. Okay, and so anyway, we are at this, I guess it's a bar, where they do some of the trivia games on board the ship. It's called the Atlas Bar, and it's very kind of old world feeling. Got a bit of a steampunk type of feel, maybe? Steampunk? I don't know. Maybe not so steampunk, but definitely an old world kind of feel to it. And it was really a kind of a cool place. We went there, I think, twice during the cruise, just once for an actual cocktail. It was our night before we disembarked cocktail, and then we also went there for this trivia. I think those were the only 2 times. But anyway, it was really kind of a cool place and a lot of fun, and so the trivia stuff was really kind of fun. We also did another trivia. I can't remember what it was. It wasn't Disney. I don't know. Anyway, that is the story of basically what's going on in the photos. They're doing the trivia. I'm sitting watching, and not really much help at all. Although I will say on my Alaska cruise, I did know some of the country music trivia, which is weird because I don't even listen to country music anymore. I think I listened to it some back in the 90s, not even a lot, but I actually knew a lot of that because I have a lot of family members that listen to country music. Anyway, that was surprising because normally music's not, I couldn't tell you who sings what or anything. But I decided to go ahead and use some of this trim, which is kind of like it's got a bit of a plasticky kind of a feel to it, but then it's also got the natural fibers intertwined with the mesh. And so I really liked the way that it feels kind of beachy and lightweight on the layout. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. And then because we're using corrugated paper in this album, I'm going to bring in some corrugated paper across the bottom of my photos where that wood grain meets the textured ribbon there. I'm going to call it ribbon. I think it's actually, I'm just going to call it ribbon. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what it is, but it's definitely not the wired ribbon. It's the plastic is what kind of gives it its rigidity. Anyway, I am inking all of this up with a bit of walnut stain, and I'm not going to have that piece go all the way across, I don't think. I think I'm going to cut it off before it goes all the way across the page. And I'm liking how that's looking. I feel like that makes it look a little more grounded rather than having that wood grain paper just kind of floating around in the background. And then I decided to bring my right hand photo down a little bit further so that it also aligns with that corrugated paper as well. Now I do have some wood veneer pieces from MK's shop. I think she still has these available. I'll put links down below if she does. I have a couple of drinks. And then I have a little tiki hut looking piece, and I really liked those. I thought that it fit perfectly with the drinks on the right hand side, and so I'm going to go ahead and use those on this layout. I am using some somewhat thin foam dots to pop up my journaling spot because that corrugated paper does add a bit of lift, especially being on top of that ribbon, and so I feel like I'm going to need something to support the top portion of that scroll. I did add a little bit of liquid glue to that ribbon at the bottom just to hold it down because I can't really use my tape runner. It would show through, and the adhesive on it would kind of pick up stuff because it's such a wide texture on that ribbon. There's lots of holes in it, and so I decided to use a little liquid glue to hold it down. It is held down by some tape runner underneath where the corrugated paper is, so you can't see that, and the corrugated paper kind of covers everything up. But then there's also liquid glue sandwiched with the corrugated paper to the ribbony stuff with the background paper. So my title is just going to be Fun and Games, and I thought that was perfect because that is exactly what we're doing here, having fun and playing games. And then I'm going to add a couple of these little foam hearts to this layout, and I'm going to add my little drinky pieces here from MK's shop, and I love these. I think they're super cute and a lot of fun. So I thought those were perfect for this particular layout. Now, I don't think there was any boba tea on board, but I think that's what that right-hand drink is. But I'm going to go with it because there were a lot of cocktails, or not cocktails, but milkshake type looking smoothie type things that had those types of glasses. So I'm going with it. It doesn't have to be 100% exactly what was on board. I am probably talking to somebody on a Zoom, or maybe my husband stuck his head in the door and that's why I'm moving my hands around funny there, in case you're wondering about that. I'm going to finish it off with a little bit of white Dina Wakley media gloss and call it done. Don't forget to go check out what MK is doing on her channel today using the same scroll over here that I have used. And then she is probably doing a live today over in the Facebook group for 31 Days of Cutfiles, so you can see how she's going to use it in a larger format. So go and check that out as well. All of the links are down below for your convenience. I will see you guys again soon. Bye-bye.